So we got. Tell me when we're going. And we welcome you to John Euless Ballpark for Game 5 of the CCCAA Baseball Championships. Jeff Stoynoff, Mike Cepeda, Phil White back with you. We are underway in the top of the first. We apologize getting on the air a little bit late, solving some last-minute technical difficulties, but we're ready to go with baseball. Willie Aguilar at the plate with the bases empty and 2 down. Here in the top of the first inning, Brett Mays on the bump for Golden West, and the breaking ball misses inside. The count now 2 balls, 2 strikes on Aguilar. Just to catch you up to speed, Aaron Case led off with a walk against Mays, but he was erased on a 6-4-3 double play on a terrific play by Tyler DePreta. Moving to his
play.
left.
Yeah.
Diving stop. They turn 2, and now the bases are empty and a full count on Willie Aguilar. Cypress here after a victory as Aguilar drops a base hit into right earlier this morning in Game 3 of the championship series. The victory ending the season of San Joaquin Delta was 11-6 as they overwhelmed the Mustangs with 4-run innings in the 6th and 7th on their way to the victory that lands them here in Game 5. It's another elimination game. Meanwhile, for Golden West, they are here after just losing 6-2 to Santa Rosa in our previous game, Game 4 of the championship series. So Santa Rosa is 1 win away from the state championship, and these 2 teams deciding who will play them on Championship Monday. Elijah Skips steps in with a runner at first and 1 down. The pitch to Skips.
Essentially, Jeff, this is the Southern California Championship, and this is the Orange Empire Championship.
Orange Empire Conference Championship, yeah, absolutely.
Both teams coming from the Orange Empire Conference, and this they will represent the South. So whoever wins this ball game will be essentially the Southern. They'll be the Southern champions of the state.
It's funny how it works out that way. It seems that it's very often a North and a South team that make it to the final day.
You're right.
And the Orange Empire Conference, how loaded. These are the 2nd and 3rd place teams in the Orange Empire Conference. The top seed in the South, Saddleback, ousted in the playoffs. But these 2 teams, nonetheless, representing the conference. 1 ball and 1 strike on Skips with Aguilar at first. No changes in the Golden West lineup from what they've been going with all weekend. Mays ready. The fastball misses low. 2 balls and 1 strike. It's Shaddles in left, Philip Knapp in center, Danny McGuire in right. From 3rd to 1st, it's Fuchs, DePreta, Dylan Persinger, and Cody Marshall. And the battery, Chris Gilbody behind the plate, and Brett Mays on the mound. Mays gets the call today, and I know that Mike and I and Phil will be wanting to talk more about Brett Mays' story, but it's really a very moving story. He takes care of a mother suffering from MS, works his way through school, does so much more than just play baseball. It's really a very heartwarming story.
Tough not to root for the kid.
Wins the Paul Moore Award this year.
Mm-hmm.
And just a remarkable story, and talked with Coach Mike Monday, and not surprisingly, a real grinder on the mound, a real fighter on the mound, and they have to sometimes go in there and try and rein him in a little bit. He's an emotional guy out on the mound. Bouncer through the left side, the hole left open on the hit and run. Aguilar stumbles around second, but he'll make it to third, and it's runners at the corners with 2 down. And the hit and run works to perfection there, Phil.
I would describe that more as a run and hit, only because I don't know with 2 outs if they were necessarily, but they started the runner.
Yep.
And Aguilar, the field is a little bit wet in spots because they just got through prepping it for this ball game, so he slipped going around second base.
And they got started in a hurry, so it's still they didn't wait. They're trying to keep things moving here on a very busy Sunday.
But by rule, though, they're supposed to start this game 45 minutes after the ending of the last ball game, so it is in their bylaws. But going back to this inning, and I'll go after this pitch. After that,
Mays tries the off-speed pitch on the outside corner, but misses. 1 ball and no strikes.
After the leadoff walk, though, Gonzalez lines one up the middle that Tyler DePreta goes to his left, is able to stab, toss the ball over to Persinger, who bare hands it, and they complete a double play. So that was the 2 outs of this inning. So those outs right there, looking at the 2 hits that have followed, are real big right now.
It's a huge play early on in this game, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike after Reeser fouls 1 away.
And so often we look at plays, Jeff, that happen maybe innings 7, 8, 9, and we don't look back to innings 1 and 2 where that can really dictate the outcome of a ball game.
It's absolutely true. Here's the 1-1 to Reeser. Again, tries the breaking ball, and it misses just outside. 2 balls and 1 strike, and it draws a reaction from the Golden West crowd. Feeling that Mays is perhaps being squeezed early on in the strike zone. Reeser, the beneficiary, now has a 2 ball and 1 strike count as he digs in. Mays from the stretch. Here's the pitch on the outside corner. Good response from Brett Mays. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The winner of this one trying to make it to Championship Monday, where they will have more work to do, as Santa Rosa needs only 1 win in 2 potential games tomorrow to lock up the 2016 CCCAA Championship. Meanwhile, a breaking ball misses outside, and the count goes full on Reeser. Bo Coolin waiting on deck if Reeser can keep it alive. The Chargers, the number 4 seed in the South, but they've made it here to the Final Four. Laced into left. That's a base hit. The Chargers are on the board. 3 singles in a row. And the Chargers draw first blood. They now lead it 1-0. This is the 4th meeting between these 2 teams. They met just a couple of weeks ago to wrap up the regular season schedule, with Golden West taking 2 out of 3. But obviously, it's a whole different format here. It's going to be one and done. Mays making his 2nd start against the Chargers. He started the first meeting between the 2 teams. That came back on April 29th, and Mays went 5 2/3, allowing 5 runs on 8 hits. So it was a bit of a struggle, and he's off to a slow start here. First pitch to Coolin, outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Skips at second, Reeser at first with 2 down. Coolin rocking back and forth from the left side. Now he's ready. The pitch from Mays. Popped on the left side, now to play. So the count evened up at 1-1 on Coolin. Mays taking a little extra time from the stretch. Here's the pitch. Tries the outside corner but misses. 2 balls and 1 strike. Coolin coming off a 3-for-5 game in the victory over San Joaquin Delta. He's 3 for 8 with a walk on the weekend. Run scored, a run batted in. 2-1 pitch, back up the middle, another base hit. Skips rounding second. He's going to come home and score as the throw is cut off. They're getting to Mays early.
They're getting to Mays early. They have 4 hits, and the only 2 outs that were earned by the only outs that were earned by the Rustlers was the great play up the middle. I talked about the double play ball.
Yeah,
Pereira was able to stab by Gonzalez. So I'll tell you, this is not starting off well, and I can't believe Brett Mays will be long for this ball game if this continues. So I got to believe somebody's up in the pin right now, because like you mentioned, Jeff, this is do or die.
Can you see if you can grab stats from David if he has them?
So Bert Villarreal comes out, trying to settle down his pitcher. And now he'll head back, and the batter will be Nathan Rodriguez. And Rodriguez trying to keep the hit parade going. As you pointed out, 4 singles in a row off of Mays here in the top of the first, and Cypress off to a fast start. That one in the dirt, blocked nicely by Gilbody. Of course, that's a very big play. Ball skips away there, and you're talking about a couple of runners in scoring position. And we've seen comebacks over and over again here in the first 2 days, but the biggest comeback I recall seeing is 3 runs. So there is a limit. You don't want to let somebody get too far out in front of you. Fastball pops the glove, and it's in there for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike on Rodriguez. Rodriguez this weekend, 2 for 7 with a walk. He's 2 for 3 earlier today with a couple of runs scored and a run batted in the victory over Delta. That was one of those days where I think it was just fun to be a Cypress hitter earlier today because they really got it going.
Oh, boy.
On that Mustang pitching staff, and put 11 on the board. And looked like everybody was getting into the act, especially late, as they really loosened up.
4 in the 6th, 4 in the 7th.
Here's the 2-1. Fastball outside. So Mays is down in the count again. 3-1 to Rodriguez. Paul Gomez, the shortstop, would be next. Reeser at second, Coolin at first with 2 down. The 3-1 from Mays. Chop foul.
I think Rodriguez swung at a ball that was down, ball 4 right there. That would have loaded him up, so.
Yeah, that was actually a very good location. It looked to me a little bit on the inner half and down low, and not much that he could really do with it other than simply chop it foul, and that's what he did. Here's the payoff pitch coming from Mays. Rodriguez swings and pops it up in back of second. Knapp moving in, and he will take it to finally retire the side, but not before the Chargers get some work done. 2 runs on 4 hits, no errors, 2 left on base. We're through half an inning. Cypress off to a fast start. They're on top 2-0 here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Heading to the bottom of the first inning with Cypress on top of Golden West, 2-0 in elimination game number 2. After this one, we'll be down to 2 with 1 day remaining. Jeff Stoynoff, Phil White, Mike Spada back with you from John Eulis Ballpark, the campus of Fresno City College. Henry Martinez takes the hill for Cypress College with the early lead. His first offering is high. It'll be Chris Rodriguez, the designated hitter at the plate, followed by Chris Gilbody and Dylan Persinger here in the bottom of the first. Martinez kicks and delivers. Down low, 2 balls, no strikes. Martinez comes in, a record of 2-2, making his 10th appearance of the season, a 2.76 ERA, just 29 1/3 innings of work, 28 hits allowed. Walked 8 and struck out 23, and Rodriguez hit by the pitch. So Martinez puts the leadoff man on.
It's not the way they wanted to start.
Well, this is the fun part of the weekend because we're getting down to the depths of the pitching staff, and now we find out who's got the depth. So Martinez gets the call, and little used this season, 29 1/3. But what a big situation for the young man. That'll bring up Chris Gilbody. Takes a pitch for a strike. Gilbody batting .283 on the season. No home runs, 13 runs batted in. Rodriguez, interestingly for a leadoff hitter, just 1 steal in 2 attempts. But for much of the season, Rodriguez didn't see a whole lot of action. He is an interesting story in this playoff run. He entered the lineup just 5 games ago now, and he's been outstanding since he's done it. An on-base percentage up near 500 in that 5-game stretch. So Rodriguez gets back on the throw over from Martinez. No balls, 2 strikes to count. Fastball outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes on Gilbody. He'll be followed by Persinger and then Cody Marshall. Reeser in left, Case in center, Brandon Gonzalez in right. Again, no changes in the lineup for Cypress from earlier today.
People can hear at home. The winds have picked up here.
Gilbody grounds 1 to second, could be 2. Over to second for 1, the relay in time. Tit for tat. Double play by Golden West at the top of the inning, answered here in the bottom of the inning as Gilbody erases Rodriguez. It's 2 down, bases empty, and certainly the Rustlers can only hope things go so well after the double play as it did for Cypress in the top of the first as Persinger digs in with the bases empty.
Golden State would have taken a strikeout right there as opposed to a double play to keep Rodriguez on base.
Persinger, a .440 hitter on the season, 6 home runs, 39 runs batted in. Martinez, first pitch is chopped foul.
We've talked all weekend about Persinger coming to the plate with no one on to drive in. And I tell you, with the wind blowing out, and it is blowing out, and I think it'll continue to blow out as the night goes on tonight, Jeff.
Yeah, it's blowing out to straightaway center.
Yeah,
I mean,
and I could see some balls getting up in that jet stream and getting out of here tonight. It's blowing right now.
The 0-1 from Martinez in on the hands. Great location, pop to second, and Ortiz has it for the final out. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We're through 1 complete. Cypress on top of Golden West. It's the CCCAA Baseball Championships here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. And we head to the top of the second inning. It'll be Gomez, Ortiz, and then the top of the order, Aaron Case against Brett Mays, who had a rocky first inning, allowing 4 hits and 2 runs. Mays' numbers coming in 6-2 on the season with an ERA of 4.09 in 70 1/3 innings. First pitch, Gomez swinging, lines that one down the left field line,
Barely
and it's foul.
This is just a tough situation for Golden West, coming off a loss. So Cypress is coming off you take them off mini streaks. Cypress is coming off momentum. They've won. They have a good feeling about themselves. They're rested. They were able to, like we talked about, able to go back to the hotel, get their feet up, shower, get a bite to eat, as opposed to Golden West.
They got to go right back to work.
Right back to work, coming off that 6-2 defeat to Santa Rosa.
And Mike, I know you have a good memory for this. You both do, but have we? It seems to me, it feels like to me that the winner of Game 3 has won Game 5 pretty much every year we've been here. Just seems like my memory. I can't remember all the specifics. Big swing and a miss. Gomez down on strikes.
Yeah, I believe it was Delta in the losers bracket last year that won the morning game, and then they won the night game.
It happens. I'd have to go back and look at the years here. But
I think that was certainly the case last year.
It's very difficult to lose that winner's bracket game and come back and get a W.
Outside, 1 ball and no strikes on Ortiz. Ortiz batting .208. No home runs, 6 runs batted in. Mays into the wind. Popped up. Foul territory on the right side. Marshall with room. Camped and has it.
And just a heads up to everybody, the original start time for this game was 6 p.m. They moved it up to 5:15 after we had signed off our last broadcast, so apologies for the miscommunication there, but we are up and running, ready to go. We have most of the game here for you. Some technical difficulties with some of the equipment early on, but locked and loaded right now. And
we're hoping you're here.
Yeah.
Remind people once again, how they can join us.
Yeah, www.socalcollegesports.com. You can catch us on the go, input that into your tablet, PC, or smartphone device, and click the play button. You can also go to CCCAA sports.org. Live stats available via that website.
1 ball, 1 strike to count on Case. Case walked to lead off the game. Foul back to the screen, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Case comes in batting .276. Home run, 14 runs batted in. As he bats here with 2 down and the base is empty. Well, perhaps Mays beginning to settle down. He's put down 3 in a row. That pitch high and away, 2 balls and 2 strikes on Case.
Yeah, Mike, the heat is wreaking havoc on the equipment. It does not play well with
electronics.
Swing and a miss.
Right.
Case goes down on strikes. Sorry about that, Matthew. 3 up, 3 down. We're through 1.5, 2-0. Cypress on top of Golden West on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Bottom of the second inning, 4-5-6 due up. Marshall, Fuchs, and McGuire against Martinez. And for Martinez, it was all systems go in the bottom of the first. Faced the minimum after hitting Rodriguez, got the double play, and then gets Persinger on the pop-out. And he looked very strong as he works here with a 2-0 lead.
1-2-3, not how they drew it up, though.
Right, yeah. It's
they'll take it anyway.
Yeah.
3 batters is 3 batters with no runs
the
on the board.
way.
Yeah, it's it'll work. 1 ball and no strikes to count on Marshall. Here's the pitch.
Trivia
at the
time.
knees.
Coming
And Phil has brought some trivia with us. We've gone the visual, but Phil, you went through all that hard work. Go ahead, stump us. Let's have something.
I'm going to give it to you right after this pitch by Martinez.
Just shot him right out. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
1 ball, 1 strike.
They can see the game.
That one taken the other way for a base hit. Marshall aboard the first hit of the afternoon for the Rustlers here in the bottom of the second.
Well, it's game 3 of the day, so might as well jump in with some trivia early. Question, who played the most regular season games without ever playing in a playoff game? I'll repeat it.
I would have had a chance at that.
Who played the most regular season games without ever playing in a playoff game? Well, we hit that with you at the bottom of the second.
SoCalCollegeSports@hotmail.com.
That's
Chopper back toward the
right
box. Nice play by Martinez. His only play is to first to get Fuchs on a play that could have been a lot more trouble than that. Marshall advances to second now with 1 down, and McGuire will be the batter.
Again, everybody, www.SoCalCollegeSports.com. You can catch this broadcast on the go and email us with your trivia answers at SoCalCollegeSports@hotmail.com.
Martinez taking a little extra time. Now comes home. Outside, 1 ball and no strikes on McGuire.
McGuire had a couple knocks in the first ball game. versus Santa Rosa.
270 hitter on the season with no home runs and 23 runs batted in.
It's a big run right here for Golden West.
Yeah, right now a base hit would feel like a home run for Golden West that needs to get back into this one. Trailing it 2-0. It would go a long way. So McGuire has the hitters count at 2-0, and Martinez has slowed the pace from the belt. Here's the pitch. Out in front, that one chopped down the first base line, and it will roll foul. 2 balls, 1 strike. McGuire, a tale of 2 games, 0 for 4 yesterday. But then in the game we just finished, had a base hit and a walk and a run scored. So he's 1 for 7 for the weekend. But he reached base a couple times in the loss to Santa Rosa. He has a 2-1 count here. Marshall leads away from second. Here's the pitch from Martinez, and again, carbon copy. The previous pitch as that one is chopped up the first base line. Count evened up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
We talked about scouting reports all through this championship series, but these teams now, they know each other. This is the 4th time they have played this year, so their scouting report is extremely thorough on hitters and how they want to pitch and how they want to play in the field.
Martinez with a look back at second, now comes home. High and inside.
It's an Orange Empire Conference game in Fresno.
Yeah, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Neutral site. That's exactly right. And perhaps Henry Martinez has not started against Golden West this season. But this is his 2nd appearance. The payoff pitch just outside. He walks McGuire. In the opener between these 2 teams, Martinez came in the 5th inning and proceeded to go 4 2/3, allowing just 1 run as Cypress picked up the win. So Martinez has had good success against this Rustler lineup as he gets the call here. And he got off to a fast start with an easy first, but he's put a couple on here with 1 out in the 2nd as John Shettles will stand in from the right side. Martinez kicks and delivers low and inside, and now the control starting to slip away from Martinez.
Phil White going to read the trivia question a couple more times this inning, we hope.
307 batter is Shettles with 4 home runs.
I'll get it in there.
Here's the 1-0. That one bounces in about 40 feet.
Shot by Rodriguez.
Knocking that one down. 2 balls, no strikes. You know, not to call out 1 inning, only for the statistic that's noteworthy, but outside of that 8th inning from San Joaquin Delta, I think the defense has been pretty solid all the way around. You're going to have some miscues, but generally speaking, a lot of gems in the field and generally pretty solid.
Oh, there's been some fabulous plays by both outfielders and infielders.
The 2-0. 1 hopper towards second. They'll go to second for 1. The relay, they turn it. 2 innings. 2 double plays. Speaking of defense, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. We are through 2. 2-0 Cypress. It's the CCCAA Baseball Championships here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Top of the 3rd from Fresno. CCCAA Baseball Championships on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Jeff Stoynoff, Phil White, Mike Zepeda, Matt Henson, Jorge Zepeda. That's everyone. The SoCal College Sports team. Happy you've joined us.
Had some family up here too.
That's true. We're a bigger group this week. Gonzalez takes the first pitch low, 1 ball, no strikes. He grounded into the unfortunate double play back in the first inning if you're a Cypress follower, as he hit the ball hard, but DePreda.
We're through 2 innings, and we've had 3 double plays turned. Cypress turning 2. Golden West has 1, so we've had 3 through 2 innings. We'll keep track of that count.
That's one I think I can follow in my head.
Can you?
Well, we'll see.
Let me give the trivia question again.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Let's have it.
Who played the most regular season games without ever participating in a playoff game?
Swing and a miss. Gonzalez down on strikes. And a nice bounce back from Brett Mays after some struggles in the first. He's now set down 5 in a row, fanning 3 of them.
Great changeup right there that dipped in beneath his hands, almost had a split finger fastball action on it, just dove underneath Gonzalez's hands.
It was Aguilar that started the trouble in the first with the 2-out single. It was the first of 4 in a row for the Chargers, who plated 2 runs. That accounts for the scoring so far. The 1-0 from Mays. Aguilar takes that one in the dirt. 2 balls, no strikes. Skips, waits on deck. Here's the pitch from Mays, foul tip. 2-1 as Aguilar almost came out of his shoes there on the swing. He was going after that one. He's 4 for 8 on the weekend, coming off a 3 for 5 game earlier today.
But the go-ahead double.
Couple of runs batted in. Pops this one up. Can of corn. McGuire drifting over. 2 down. It's not a weekend of baseball if I don't get one slight Hawk Harrelson call in there. I know Mike was waiting for it.
Hawk Harrelson? Why wouldn't I have been?
That was it. Well, you know, Chicago guy.
You know, if you
listen to Hawk call some games.
If you come through with a put it on the board, yes, after a home run,
well,
then we'll know.
I can do the can of corn and just missed it, but I can't do the the put it on the board. I can't do justice. Can't do justice to that call. It's got to be Hawk and Wimpy for that. 1 ball and no strikes on Skips. Off speed in there for a strike. You get the feeling sometimes when you watch pitchers that I was going to make this point in the earlier game after the 2 home runs, and then the way that Marshall settled down for a little while after that, that almost there's a point of where the pitcher thinks to himself, well, it can't get a lot worse. And they just seem to sort of settle down after a struggle. And they put together a few good innings. And maybe that's the thought process that kind of clicks in their head. But after a struggle, you see Mays, and he looks like a completely different pitcher now on these last several batters, when he was having all kinds of trouble in the first. Here's the 2-1. Outside, 3-1 on Skips. Retired 6 in a row. But Skips has him in an advantageous position here with a 3-1 count. Here's the pitch. Low and away. So he puts Skips on. That'll bring up Reeser, who singled back in the first.
Just when you mentioned that.
Yeah,
Mays
jinx
goes ahead and walks Skip to put him on base.
Let me tell you something, my friend. My jinx powers are not to be trifled with.
Phil White giving you a run for your money this weekend.
He's pretty good. He's got the gift. Reeser was 0 for 5 earlier today. Happy to move on to a new game. Bouncing ball in the hole. DePreda goes the short way to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left on base. We head to the bottom of the 3rd. Cypress on top of Golden West. It's the 2nd elimination game, day 2 of the CCCAA Baseball Championships on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Philip Knapp will lead things off. He'll be followed by Tyler DePreta. And then the top of the order, Chris Rodriguez against Henry Martinez, who's worked 2 scoreless frames. Getting the start here in Game 5 and leading it 2-0. First pitch in there for a strike. Martinez working quickly. This one lifted to left. It's a long run for Reeser over near the wall. And it just drifts foul. Looking for the call there, but Knapp gave it a ride. No balls, 2 strikes. Knapp batting .275. No home runs, 13 runs batted in on the season. Need to get something started here. Do the Rustlers. Outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Knapp's having a heck of a weekend, 4 for 8. Couple of runs scored, a run batted in. Tries to hold up there. They'll appeal down, and he did.
It's a good time to mention the umpires right now. The home plate umpire, Mike Allen. First base umpire, Pablo Bustamante, and the third base umpire, Chris Morrow.
2-2 pitch. Popped up. Right field. Moving over. Gonzalez takes it in foul territory. 1 down. So DePreta stands in, a .281 batter. No home runs, 17 runs batted in. Martinez working quickly, and why wouldn't he? Pumps one in there for a strike. No balls and 1 strike.
For the people watching at home, if they've noticed, Martinez works from a stretch every pitch. Whether runners are on or no one's on.
And again, another one right in there for a strike. No balls, 2 strikes very quickly on DePreta, who's going to have to take the bat off the shoulder here because it appears that Martinez not having a lot of trouble with location. Here's the 0-2. Tries that one on the outside corner and misses.
Phil, it's a great point that you make there. Battling out of the stretch with Martinez. You know, sometimes you see the difference between the windup and the stretch. Do you think it's a continuity thing?
I think it's what he's comfortable with. I really do. You see sometimes it's a case where in I don't know how many games, I didn't look, if he's been a starter all year for him or if he's come out of the pen. Sometimes when they come out of the pen, they feel comfortable. That's close right there. I think they'll check down to first base to see if he'll go. But I just think it's a comfort level. Trying to think of, Dennis Eckersley, the Hall of Fame relief pitcher that started out with the Cubs as a starter.
Wow.
Until he turned into that.
Yeah, he had a 20-win season for the Red Sox. Lifted to right, playable for Gonzalez, backing up and makes the catch in front of the track. 4 out, number 2. 2 down, bases empty, and here comes Chris Rodriguez. Yeah, Dennis Eckersley, a heck of a starting pitcher for a long time, and then makes the transition.
Probably a heck of a model American, too.
Well, you cleaned it up, though, for our family-friendly broadcast, but yes.
Dennis Eckersley, Hall of Famer.
Nicknamed the Eck.
Started as a starter, went into a reliever. John Smoltz was a starter, then turned into a reliever.
Yeah,
Hall of Famer.
Another outstanding one.
Yeah.
Great golfer, too. Smoltzy.
Great golfer. 8 hole-in-ones in his career.
Eric Gagne was a starter very briefly and then really spent his whole career as a reliever, but didn't they try him as a starter for a while when he first came up, I want to say. Lifted to center. Case under it and has it to retire the side. 3 up, 3 down for Martinez, who continues to roll. We're through 3, 2-0. Cypress on top of Golden West. It's the CCCAA Baseball Championships on SoCalCollegeSports.com.
head to the top of the fourth here on SoCalCollegeSports.com's live coverage of the 2016 baseball finals here from Fresno. John Euless Ballpark, Mike Cepeda, Phil White, Jeff Stoynoff, Matt Henson, and the entire SoCalCollegeSports.com crew. First pitch, swinging at it. That's Bo Coolin. Easy routine play there for Persinger, and that's out number one here in the top of the fourth. 2-0. Chargers on top of the Rustlers here.
Hold on to your
an Orange Empire Conference battle.
Hold on to everything here.
And the wind starting to really pick up now, blowing out towards right center. That pitch away. This is Nathan Rodriguez. For Cypress, it was Coolin, and then it'll be Rodriguez here, and then Paul Gomez on deck. And quickly falling behind is Brett Mays, 2-0. Mays high, now 3-0. Rodriguez, only 5 walks. Check that. 11 walks on the season. Make that number 12. Mays thought he had that one in the strike zone. Not going to get the call, and it's a 1-out walk. Here comes Paul Gomez. Gomez, the shortstop for Cypress. A freshman. Likely going to see him next year, batting 174 on the season. First pitch outside, and the command has really gotten away from Brett Mays. He had settled down after giving up the 2 in the top of the first. And are the wheels starting to fall off yet again? That one fouled back.
Runner started there, Rodriguez.
Hit and run on.
Hit and run.
Coach Bickler really utilizes that. We saw that back in 2013 when they won it all. Seemingly scoring runs at will in that championship series. 1-1 on Paul Gomez. Mays from the stretch. That one popped up. Giving chase, it's Knapp, but called off by McGuire in right for out number 2. And here comes Angel Ortiz, also a freshman, batting .208 coming into the weekend. Actually coming into today. But he hasn't played all weekend, so the numbers still hold. First pitch on Ortiz. He's swinging, pops it up to center field, and Knapp puts it away. So they strand one. We head to the bottom of the fourth here, 2-0. Cypress on top of Golden West. We'll be back. Bottom of the fourth inning here. Game 5 of the championships in 2016 here from Fresno City College. Game 3 on the day here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. And tomorrow, the winner of this game will play Santa Rosa, the #1 team in the state, awaits. Bear Cubs just one win away from a state title here in 2016. Would be their first since 2005, third all time in their school's history. Starting off this inning here for the Rustlers batting, it'll be Gilbody, followed by Persinger and Cody Marshall, the meat of the order for the Rustlers. Gilbody ahead 2-0, takes strike one.
We've mentioned several times tonight in terms of the wind and how it's blowing out and the amount of fly balls. Maybe it's getting in the hitter's head because there's just been way too many fly balls, too many fly ball outs.
2-1
as an offensive approach, because if you go through, we're through not 3 complete. Just haven't seen as many ground ball line drives.
When chopped over to third, long throw for Aguilar. And bringing off Bo Coolin from the bag, but keeping his foot on the bag. That's a good job by Coolin, making the out for retiring the batter.
Coolin's done a heck of a job over at first base in the field. Couple of nice plays over there and a terrific running catch down that right field line as well, going back to the game earlier today.
That will bring up the big bat in the order.
Has a little Will Clark to him. Left guy.
That's a good call. Persinger swings at an off-speed pitch, 0-1.
Will Clark, fun guy to watch hit.
Mm-hmm. Will Clark, where did he play his college baseball? And who was he a teammate of?
Was it LSU?
Oklahoma State.
Wrong and wrong.
Stanford? No.
Arizona State?
He was not a Pac-12.
Oh.
I'm going to guess college.
Wow, you.
Starkville, Mississippi State Bulldog.
Wow.
And he was a teammate of Rafael Palmeiro.
Palmeiro, Rafi.
How'd you like to be a right-handed pitcher in that conference?
Yeah.
Good luck.
So that must have been fun.
Yeah.
Well, getting back to Harry Carey, we've been talking about a little bit about this weekend. I believe you mean Rafael Palermo, as he often was, by late in the Cubs game after Harry might have had a couple.
It's 1-2 on Dylan Persinger. One gone here, bottom of the fourth inning. The Rustlers trail it by 2-0. 1-2 high and outside. Evened up.
Mention it again, their leading home run hitter up with no one on base. It's only
happened one time.
Only hit this weekend with people on one time, and I believe that was a runner on first.
2-2, and Persinger fights to stay alive there, fouls that off.
And Persinger 1 for 7 on the weekend. Just had his first hit in the 8th inning against Santa Rosa in Game 2. So
it was
he's
a
been struggling
shot
this weekend.
Too.
Yeah,
it was kind of a
they've done a great job pitching to him. Really, everybody has.
I mean, 1 for 7 on the weekend. He's still batting .440 on the year. That's pretty impressive. That one in there, strike 3 called. Henry Martinez rings him up. Here comes Cody Marshall. How many strikeouts is that for Martinez? Is that his first?
It is.
That would be number 1.
Yeah.
Well, he gave him the old number 1 and recorded strikeout number 1.
Allowed just 1 hit through 3 2/3.
Pretty impressive here for the freshman. Marshall swinging at the first pitch.
I know Phil's going to want to give the answer to the trivia question. I want to hear this one when we get a chance.
Phil, but before you get into that, through 3 2/3, what impresses you about Martinez?
I just would say right now location, because he has the one walk. It was on a 3-2 pitch that was close to McGuire, which was a good take on him by the outer half, but he's in the zone.
That one hit hard, but right to Paul Gomez. And that will do it for the Rustlers and the 4th inning, 2-0. Cypress on top of Golden West. We head to the 5th here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Top of the fifth inning here from John Eulis Ballpark. Mike Zepeda, Phil White, Jeff Stoynoff, and Matt Henson with you on today's broadcast. Triple header coverage. 2016 3C2A baseball finals. Cypress in front by 2, but with the wind blowing out, a 2-run lead. Not all that safe, and if the script of the weekend will tell us, 6-run leads aren't safe.
No, especially with two teams that are battling for their lives.
Yeah.
In terms of a do-or-die situation here with Golden West and Cypress. Both teams coming from the Orange Empire Conference.
Mm-hmm. Aaron Case, grounder over to short. Routine play for DePretta for out number 1.
Do you want me to give the answer to the trivia question?
Yeah, let's have it.
Okay. The question was, who played in the most regular season games without ever participating in a single playoff game? And the answer is Ernie Banks. And the amount of games, 2,528 games Ernie Banks played in regular season, never participating in a single playoff game.
Man.
Hall of Famer Ernie Banks, the late Ernie Banks, last year.
That's the Cubs for you right there.
Had to be a Cub. Chopper over to second from Gonzalez. It's a nice dig there from Cody Marshall to record out number 2. So quick 2 outs here in the top of the 5th for Brett Mays.
It's a question with a built-in hint. If it's a long run without being in the playoffs, you already knew which team he was on.
We can give you a quick trivia question here. We'll see what Aguilar does here with 2 outs.
Aguilar's been fantastic throughout the weekend. Phil, you've mentioned some of his accomplishments at the plate. Just such a tough out at the dish.
I've been thoroughly impressed with how he approaches every pitch, tracking pitches. I just think he's a tough out. I looked at Nick Poirier, the left-handed left fielder from Delta, and I look at a Willie Aguilar, and both from both sides of the plate, but they've really impressed me.
Aguilar coming into today batting .356.
Throw in Shiner from Santa Rosa, who's starting to get a first team.
That one gonna drop in for a single to left center. Aguilar took a hard round around first, but holds. So it's a 2-out single for Willie Aguilar.
With that hit, Aguilar is now 6 for 11 on the weekend.
Not bad.
Yeah, to Phil's points. That'll get some work done.
Yes, it will. Here comes Elijah Skips.
Love the name, Elijah Skips.
Pretty strong. Favorite sports names in history? Shoot me one.
Biff Pocoroba.
Good one.
Ex-catcher for the Braves.
Yep.
Gotta like that one. I was a big fan of the Biff Pocoroba.
How can you not root for a guy named Biff?
Oh, I love it.
Biff Tannen.
It's true, it's a Biff you really weren't rooting for.
It really wasn't. But you kind of still root for him. Just because it's Biff.
It's hard to imagine that Biff Pocoroba's parents weren't big Arthur Miller fans. I mean, you just would have to assume with the name.
The 1-0 hit well to center field. Backing up
That
is
ball
Knapp.
Driven
past Knapp, gets over his head to the wall. This will be extra bases. This will bring in at least 1. It's a 2-out RBI double for Elijah Skips. Round the scores, Willie Aguilar. 3-0. Golden West.
Elijah Skips, we talk about tracking the baseball and seeing pitches. He's just a guy up there right now that is just zoned in. Just can't get a pitch by him. Even the pitches he takes are just quality takes.
The Rustlers need to be careful here. Brett Mays battling. Skips at second.
The thing that hurts about this inning, though, Mike, is Case led off with a 6-3 ground out. Gonzalez the 4-3 ground out. So they got the first 2 outs of the inning.
Fastball in there for a strike from Brett Mays. This is Nick Reeser.
Yeah, it was Aguilar.
Base hit double, and now you're down by 3 in an elimination game.
And it was Aguilar and Skips that started the trouble back in the first, so they proved to be Mays undoing again.
6 hits on the day now here for the Chargers. The 1-1 off speed inside. 2-1. We'll be reeling off trivia. Feel free to chime in. SoCalCollegeSports@hotmail.com. 2-1 pitch here.
That ball
driven
hit
well.
And hit well.
Backing up and not going to have a play on it. It's gone.
Put it on the board. Yes.
Nick Reeser goes downtown. 5-0. The Chargers on top of the Rustlers here in Game 5 on the weekend.
I couldn't leave you hanging there, Phil, on there. Once you start on the put it on the board, I gotta take the wimpy part and jump in with you.
Well, see, I knew you guys were going to tag team that, so I let it go and then just wrapped it up.
Oh.
Well done, fellas.
Is that they're starting to do a little chant there, Mike, in the dugout after they score the run, do the Chargers. Is it starting to give you a little bit of a Joey Hashem feeling there? Every time
Aussie?
Yeah, every time they
oink,
score
oink.
a run, they're kind of getting the Aussie chant going in the Cypress dugout. I was wondering if you were thinking that as a big poker guy.
You know, well, now that you bring that up, it would be so apt if Santa Rosa had an Aussie chant because their last state championship came back in 2005. That was the year Joe Hashem won it. They have a pitching change here. 5-0, 3 runs across this inning for Cypress. It's a 3-run, 2-out rally for the Chargers. We'll be back in a moment on SoCalCollegeSports.com. New pitcher on the mound, A.J. Dean for the Rustlers. Will try to stop the bleeding here for Golden West. Phil, what do you got for me numbers-wise?
The sophomore right-hander is 1-0 on the year with 1 save. He has made 8 appearances, pitched 21 and 2/3 innings. Has 20 strikeouts with 10 walks.
Dean falls behind quickly
and
on Bo Coolin. 2-0.
Can't point it out again enough. This inning started with 2 ground ball outs.
Yep. Fastball in for a strike from A.J. Dean. 2-1 now on Coolin. Yeah, we were just rolling along, and then all of a sudden, bam, out of here. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Big fly, courtesy of Nick Reeser. For Cypress, 2-2. That one popped foul.
A.J. Dean has a little Jacob deGrom look on
he's got the luscious locks flowing in the wind here in John Eulis Ballpark, for sure. Count evened up, 2-2. Dean, grounder over to second, Persinger over to first in time, and that will do it for the top of the 5th, but not before Cypress gets 3 more on the board, extends their lead to 5-0 on top of Golden West. You are watching the 3C2A 2016 Baseball Finals Game 5. We'll be back.
back in Fresno. Bottom of the 5th. Golden West trying to fight back from a 5-0 deficit. Leading off, Michael Fuchs fouls one down the line foul. Evens the count at 1 apiece. Fuchs 0 for 1 on the day. The third baseman is batting 5th in the lineup for Golden West today as they try to figure out Martinez. Ball hit to the right side. Ortiz moves to his left. Throws over to Coulomb for the first out of the inning. That's just what Cypress wants here. After putting 3 on the board, get that first out of the inning. That brings up the right fielder, Daniel McGuire, number 22, who walked in his first appearance at the plate. Martinez's only walk of the day. He's only given up 1 hit, though. Hits being 7-1 right now. First pitch down the left field line. Reeser gives a chase, and the ball is fair. And
yeah, all kinds of confusion here. And McGuire ends up all the way at second.
Yeah, but he ends up at second, and he didn't get out of the box like I think his coaches would have wanted to get him out of the box. When he hit the ball, he figured it was foul, and he started down the line. And it just landed on the line. He ends up with a double here. So we have a 1-out double by McGuire that brings up John Shaddles, the left fielder for Golden West. As the Golden West faithful try to encourage their team on. First pitch, breaking ball that Shaddles lines down foul on the left field line. So we'll see if the Rustlers can get on the board here in the bottom of the 5th and answer the 3-run 2-out rally that Cypress had in the top of the frame, plating 3 for them.
Shaddles having a big weekend. He's 4 for 9, including a 3-hit, 3 RBI performance in Game 1.
This ball gets away. It's a wild pitch. McGuire will go to third base.
Well, if you're the Rustlers trailing 5-0 in this one, start by getting one on the board.
You'll take it any way you can right now. Take it any way you can. 1 out, 1-1 count to John Shaddles here in the bottom of the 5th. Martinez comes set in the pitch. The fastball in the inner half misses.
And this is a tiny bit of adversity for Martinez here. It'll be interesting to see how he handles the adversity as he's had it really go all his way through 4 1/3.
Another fastball that's fouled off from Shaddles, evening the count at 2-2. It's a good point, and we'll see just how long if this inning were to transpire, because it is a do-or-die game to see if Cypress. It's not a case where it's a major league and they don't have contracts. You're not trying to get them a win.
Yep.
They're just trying to advance. The 2-2 offerings a breaking ball and a dandy.
He had Shaddles way out in front.
Yeah.
The interesting thing about guys like Martinez that aren't used as often, get the big start in a big spot, is they'll have the talent and things will be going well. But with pitchers like that, sometimes it can unravel quickly if it starts to get away from them. They don't have the same kind of experience dealing with big innings against them, how to bounce back from that, how to fight through those kind of struggles, because they don't have the same amount of experience on the mound. But that was a great answer by Martinez against Shaddles.
And he backs that strikeout up with another breaking ball in for a strike to get ahead of Knapp 0-1.
I mean, this is a really impressive start for
impressive.
Martinez through 4 2/3.
And I will say this after this pitch. That's 3 straight breaking balls for strikes. So he's feeling good, up 0-2 with 2 outs.
He's locked in.
Anytime you pitch with a lead, though, his team was able to score 2 on the top of the 1st. So he had to be able to go out there and say, you know what, I'm going to do my part. As that fastball misses away,
Yeah, it's got to be a nice peace of mind for a pitcher to be like, I can make a mistake, and I'm not putting my team in a hole at least.
It's a confidence builder.
Yeah, I might be giving away a lead or something like that, but I'm not putting us down at least.
Another fastball that hit in the 5-6 hole. Gomez goes over the long throw.
Nice
and
play.
They got him. Beautiful play in the 5-6 hole made by Gomez. And that will end the 5th frame, and we will take it in after 5 complete here in Fresno, California, with the Cypress Chargers leading the Golden West Rustlers 5-0. Be back for the top of the 6th.
No, I'm just letting.
Back in the top of the 6th. Nathan Rodriguez leading off the inning for Cypress as Dean's pitch goes to the backstop for ball 1. 7-8-9 here for Cypress in their batting order. Dean with the wind, misses with another fastball down, falling behind 2 balls, no strikes. Rodriguez in 2 plate appearances today with a fly ball to center as that fastball misses on the inner half, so he runs this count to 3-0. And in Rodriguez's last at bat, he walked on a 3-0 count. So he's seen 7 straight balls to him as Dean misses on that. So Rodriguez has, in his last 2 plate appearances, has 8 straight balls delivered to him in walking for the 2nd time of the game.
Interestingly, that's welcome for Rodriguez, as he's actually hitless this season against Golden West, as it turns out. So at least from a Rustler standpoint, they're walking the wrong guy.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Coach Pickler put on some type of hit and run or sacrifice Rodriguez over to add to this lead. He swings away at the first pitch, Gomez does, and hits it foul down the left field line.
A little out in front on the pitch from Dean.
Breaking ball.
Gomez is 0 for 2 on the day. But he had a big game earlier, a couple of hits and 3 runs batted in the victory over San Joaquin Delta.
Stayed long on Coach Pickler's sign there offensively as Dean delivers. That ball's fouled back for an 0-2 count. Golden West trying to hold Cypress at bay right here and keep this a 5-0 game. Don't want to get this out of control. Five runs in this ballpark right now with the wind blowing, you're still in reach. You just can't get further behind. Dean with the 0-2 purpose pitch up top out of the zone. This normally means we'll probably see a 1-2 pitch that's down and away with an off-speed pitch here. Rodriguez takes his lead off first base. Got a decent lead. That ball's hit and into this wind. It's hit well into left. Shallows goes back. Before he gets to the track, brings it in for the first out of the inning.
And Gomez gave it a ride, just not quite enough.
With this wind, you never know, though.
Yeah, it carried. I mean, it got to the track.
That brings up second baseman number 4, Angel Ortiz, who's 0 for 2 on the day. popped up to first base and flew out to center field in his 2 plate appearances today. Dean comes to the set.
There goes the runner.
Fastball, Rodriguez going. Gilbody's throw down.
Wow. Looked like maybe he found a way to slide around the tag because I thought the ball beat him.
The ball beat him, and instead of staying with the tag, Chris Morrow, base umpire, ruled that Dylan Persinger never made the tag. Didn't stay with the tag. The ball beat him, but he just missed the tag. So Rodriguez head first, safe with a stolen base. And it's ball 1. A.J. Dean chooses to go out of the windup here. Gets a breaking ball over for strike 1.
And we do apologize if you noticed a slight change.
That ball's hit into right field. McGuire back. F9 if you're scoring at home, and that ends the top of the 6th. So A.J. Dean able to get out it unscathed as we go to the bottom of the 6th here in Fresno, California.
And we did adjust some things with the camera here, but we have a couple of different shots for you now, and we hope to keep things moving along, and I'm sure that we will. Here with Cypress on top of Golden West 5-0 in the CCCAA Baseball Championships. I'd like to try and answer that question though, so you can ask it one more time. But I think
okay.
I think I know, but I'll give my answer to that question in a moment. I just want you to read it one more time.
So we're back in Fresno, bottom of the 6th. Golden West still trying to scratch across to 1. Tyler DePreta leading off. Takes ball 2. I'd be surprised right here, down 5-0, 2-0 count, bottom of 6. I'd be surprised if he's not taking a strike just to try to get somebody on right here. Force Martinez to throw a strike. Very surprised he swung at that 2-0 pitch as he flies into right field for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, I don't know about the situation there, and that might be a situation where he has the green light if he likes it, and he got one that he thought he could drive, and he takes it to right field, but yeah, the situation would seem to dictate at least try and let him throw a strike.
Yeah, there's different
before you do anything when you're trailing 5-0.
Different theories on that, but you're getting late in the ball game. I could see maybe in the 3rd or 4th, but now you're in the bottom of the 6th, and it's a 2-0 count.
Well, as you pointed out, you can't hit a 5-run homer, so you got to get some base runners.
You got to get base runners. You got to start turning that lineup over as Rodriguez takes a breaking ball up 1-0 with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. And Rodriguez takes another breaking ball, this time a big swing and a miss at a 1-1 count, and I'll reiterate it again. Chris Rodriguez has seen a steady diet of breaking balls.
Hard to imagine that this is a guy that they have a great scouting report on, and it looks like they do, because he has no at-bats against Cypress this season. It was a different outfield at the time, and Rodriguez was not seeing any action. So this is his first game against Cypress this year, but they seem to have the scouting report and work to him in that way.
And this is where that fastball swing and miss has paid off, because they went breaking ball, changeup, and then just threw the fastball 0, and he was able to foul tip it back in the mitt. This 2-2 delivery is another breaking ball.
So the question you asked me was in the 1961 season in which Roger Maris hit 61 home runs, how many times was he intentionally walked? And my answer is 0. I believe with Mantle hitting behind him, he was never intentionally walked.
Wow. That's impressive right there. As that changeup misses down, Jeff, that's impressive. He was intentionally walked 0. He wasn't intentionally walked one time during that season, which he hit 61 home runs. And that 3-2 pitch is hit into left field as the sun, and that ball falls down as Nick Reeser battled the sun. Yeah, was not able to get a good break on that ball, and the whole time he had his sunglasses on. And as the ball approached him, he just could not see it and eventually dove for it, but he trapped it into his glove. So,
well, looking
Rodriguez
at the angle of the sun, that is directly in his face. It's right to our right here as we look, and shining right in Reeser's face, and that ball could have very easily been caught up in it, and I don't think Reeser ever had it. Nice job by Reeser just to keep it in front of him. Keep Rodriguez at first base.
And it wasn't a case where he doesn't have sunglasses on. He does, as Chris Gilbody comes to the plate and takes strike 1 with 1 out here. But yeah, with Mickey Mantle batting in back of Maris, he was never intentionally walked, which is utterly amazing.
And it's Mantle's reputation alone would have been enough to probably see to have Maris seeing good pitches. But it was Mantle in good form, I believe, 54 home runs that season.
Oh, yeah, his knees
for Mantle. So, you were talking about an all-time pick your poison. And Mickey Mantle gets a strong assist on the 61 home runs, as Gehrig probably deserves a strong assist on Ruth's 60.
That's a swing and a miss.
They got the runner hung up now.
Oh, boy. And they run him back, and they make the tag. Ortiz makes the tag on Rodriguez.
Well, that's unfortunate if you're Golden West, trailing 5-0, and you simply can't afford to make outs on the base pass.
No. So the count, that leaves the count on Gilbody 1-2 as he swung through that pitch. And Rodriguez thrown out. If you're scoring at home, that would be 2-4 as Ortiz ran him down and didn't have another exchange to Coolin. This 1-2 delivery is down, and Gilbody's just able to get a piece of it. Speaking of Mantle, though, Jeff, I asked my dad, I say old enough, he's mature enough. When they get older, I'd like to say mature enough, but he's old enough to having seen a lot of players play. And I asked him who's the greatest he has seen play, and he said 1A was Willie Mays and 1B was Mickey Mantle. That 1-2 pitch just gets over Ortiz's head into right field, and Gilbody is able to keep the inning alive with 2 outs. And
as we've seen seemingly all weekend, the base running error looms larger now as Gilbody keeps the inning alive, but it's a runner at first now with 2 down.
As opposed to a runner at first and second with their leading home run hitter, Persing, coming to the plate.
Yeah, it looks like they had some pretty good center field being played in New York around that time, didn't they?
Yeah.
And now it was in Brooklyn it was a Gil Hodges who was in center field that time as well.
Mm-hmm.
So not bad.
Not bad at all.
You wanted to see some center field being played. Well, it's not a bad top 2. Not a bad top 2. Not gonna go against Dad on that one.
No.
I think he's got a pretty good call.
The 0-1 delivery is a breaking ball that misses down to Dylan Persinger, second baseman for Golden West.
Well, I think part of the mystique, the myth of Mickey is the little bit of what might have been with him too. To put up the astounding numbers that he did, and have battled so many injuries, it opens the door to just almost a mythic kind of proportion or view of what he might have been.
Yeah.
Had he been able to stay completely healthy.
Some would say self-inflicted.
Yeah.
Injuries in terms of how he treated his body. And
yeah.
2-1 count, 2 outs to Persinger. Fastball misses in, and now we're looking at a 3-1 pitch and how this inning would be different right now. To say if Persinger is able to get a hit or even, let's say, a walk would load them up potentially, but we had the throw out from 2-4 from Rodriguez to Ortiz. So the 3-1 delivery from Martinez is a fastball right down the middle. full count, Gilbody will be off. Coolin now letting Martinez know that he'll play in back of the runner at first base. He'll start on Gilbody's hip and then probably back into, as he does right now. The 3-2 pitch, strike 3 called. And that will end the bottom of the 6th inning as Martinez gets out of another jam. And Cypress heads to the top of the 7th inning here in the 2016 State Baseball Championships, up 5-0. We'll be back. Well, we're back here in Fresno. A.J. Dean takes the mound, and Golden West trailing 5-0. Brendan Gonzalez, right fielder, number 10, leading off the inning for Cypress. The fastball misses up and away. Hits are 7-4 in favor of Cypress, but the most important stat of the day, 5-0 Chargers, as that fastball misses down. It's a very pivotal inning for Golden West. They want to keep the score where it's at, and they are facing Gonzalez, Aguilar, Skips, Reeser, Coolin. As I go down the list,
yeah, it's the order of the order, duo.
Yeah.
Well, you look ahead to tomorrow, we have a long way to go here, three full innings. But if it's Cypress, I think you have to like Santa Rosa's chances, obviously, but they're going to have their hands full. And the Chargers,
oh, without a doubt,
strong day today. Nearly had the victory over Santa Rosa last night, but I think also just as important is so far with Martinez going to 6, they've used very few pitchers today, and it's going to give Coach Scott Pickler some options about how to go about tomorrow, where at least he can search for the hot hand during the day and not be too depleted.
And going back, they played once. They played in the 6 o'clock game last night, and it was 6-5.
Yep.
And Cypress had them on the ropes in the 9th. Sack fly gets us a tie game, but that pitch is in for a strike after a 4-pitch walk to Gonzalez with Willie Aguilar at the plate.
And
Aguilar 2 for 3 on the day.
And this is where it's all gone right for Cypress today with Aguilar and Skips and Reeser, a combined 6 hits for the 3 of them today.
That pitch fouled off.
6 for 8. 5 runs scored, 4 runs batted in from the 3, 4, 5. That's production in the middle of the order right there.
Not bad. So the count's 0-2 here in the top of the 7th. Dean steps off. Wants Gilbody to go through the set of signs again as Gonzalez gets his lead. Wind still blowing out here, John Euless Park. That's a breaking ball that's hit up the middle. Try to get the lead runner. They get the lead runner, not able to make an exchange to first. So
that's a nice job by Persinger.
Yeah, to get that first out to Dupree.
Maybe waited on that ball a little bit longer than he would have liked to have seen, but he was very nimble on his feet, getting that ball out quickly and getting it over to Dupree to get the force out.
Good, accurate exchange. That brings up the designated hitter, number 27, Elijah Skips, who's 2 for 2 on the day. I mentioned it in his last at bat when he drove in. When he drove in Gonzalez with a Well, I should say when he drove in Aguilar with a double that to the deepest part of the park in center field.
Yeah, he's having a big Sunday. In the 2 games today, he's 4 for 6. 3 runs scored. Going back to the Mustang game earlier today and then this game here. And I think you said it exactly right last time. He's dialed in. I mean, he is.
Villarreal is going to the mound. Coach Villarreal is going to the mound for Golden West, and he'll go to a left-hander right here to match up with Skips, and that's a good call for him. A.J. Dean did a nice job. We'll be back with the pitching change to let you know who's coming to the mound for Golden West. We think it's a left-hander, but we'll give you the info on that pitcher when we come back. Cypress leading 5-0. So we're back here as A.J. Dean departs. Taylor Franzman, the freshman left-hander who came in last night. He has a 2.96 ERA on the year, 27 innings pitched. He's 4-0 on the year. So he's started some and he's come in relief. He has 1 complete game this year, so he has had some innings for Golden West, and he'll come in right now in a spot where he's facing the hot Elijah Skips, the left-hander.
Dean did a great job in 1 2/3. Didn't allow a hit. Walked a couple, but didn't allow any runs.
The breaking ball is up to Skips. Franzman looking in. 1 out here in the top of the 7th. Cypress leading 5-0 in an elimination game. The winner getting Santa Rosa. As that ball is popped up. We see Knapp coming in. We see the right fielder, McGuire, comes over to make that catch for the second out of the inning.
It's a nice job by McGuire, just taking charge, calling everybody off.
And the other thing, too, he's not battling the sun, so he can come as far as he sees that. Very tough for DePreta to go back there because he's still battling the sun along with Knapp. So that's a second out of the inning. That's a big out for Golden West. Just to mention, though, that the winner here gets Santa Rosa tomorrow and Championship Monday. First game starting at 11 o'clock. If there's a second game, it'll start 30 minutes after that game tomorrow. But 11 o'clock is the Championship Monday start on Memorial Day. We hope you join us tomorrow for the championship game. Franzman comes to a set. The 1-0 delivery is a fastball.
I guess
for strike 1.
In this particular matchup, obviously a lot on the line, and the winner gets to advance the Championship Monday, and the loser's consolation prize apparently is just lighter traffic on the way home, as they get a little bit earlier start. I'm not looking forward to battling the Memorial Day traffic on the way home.
1-1 pitch was another strike. Fastball in the inner half. Franzman trying to get the Rustlers back into the dugout so they can chip away at this lead. His 1-2 delivery is a slider down. Great pitch by Franzman. Comes in and does a nice job. Tries to rally his troops as he goes off. So as we go in to the 7th inning stretch, grab your popcorn and peanuts. Chargers leading the Rustlers 5-0. We got a pinch hitter.
Nope. Cody Marshall, followed by Fuchs and McGuire in the bottom of the 7th.
Defensive Wildhagen.
Okay.
We're back, bottom of the 7th. Henry Martinez for Cypress back on the hill. Still with a shutout here. Shutout performance for Cypress. Facing Cody Marshall, the first baseman for Golden West. First pitch was a breaking ball that missed on the outer half. This breaking ball down in the dirt. 2-0 count to Marshall. Golden West trying to claw its way back into this. They're going to need some base runners, though. Fastball driven into left field. Marshall does a nice job with that pitch on the outer half for his second hit of the ball game. He's really had 3 nice at-bats with all coming to the left side. Base hit to the left, lined out to shortstop, and now that base hit. So he's on first base with no outs, and that brings up the third baseman, Michael Fuchs.
And it was Cody Wildhagen coming in left field for Nick Reeser.
Okay. So we have a defensive replacement, Cody Wildhagen, into left field for Nick Reeser here in the bottom of the 7th as Martinez gets that breaking ball over for strike 1 to Fuchs.
Well, Martinez hasn't had a whole lot of trouble today, but Cody Marshall's been it.
That ball has a shot to get up the middle, and it does. And this is the biggest threat of the ball game so far as Golden West starts the 7th part of their frame off with 2 straight base hits. So we have first and second.
Well,
one out.
4 of the last 5 have reached. 4 singles in the last 5 batters against Martinez. And Martinez is making his 5th start of the year, so he's not unaccustomed to starting. But this is a long outing for Henry Martinez, who has just 29 1/3 innings pitched on the season.
And that brings up Daniel McGuire, who doubled in his last at-bat. So
yeah, McGuire's perfect on the day, 1 for 1, doubled and walked.
See Martinez go to the wheel move. I gotta believe we can't see over Cypress's dugout, but I gotta believe there's guys up in their bullpen as Martinez comes to a set. First pitch to McGuire is a nice breaking ball over for a get me over strike. Gets ahead 0-1 to McGuire, who's 1 for 1 on the day, walked in his first at bat, and then doubled down the left field line in his second at bat. And that ball's hit to short, and they're able to get the lead runner. Gomez goes over to Aguilar. Look for a second there like Gomez would be able to come up and catch that ball on the line, but he's battling the sun there. The sun is directly in on the left side in their eyes as they all have sunglasses on. So with 1 out and men on first and second, that brings up the left fielder John Shaddles, who's 0 for 2 on the day, grounding into a 4-6-3 double play and striking out in his last at bat on a 2-2 breaking ball. It's a fastball in the inner half.
Again, going back in your coaching experience, do you find that it's fairly common for teams to maybe have a hangover as a lineup after they've really struggled against one pitcher, and maybe if they have to turn around and play again right away, maybe the timing gets a little bit off, the confidence gets a little shaken, something like that? It seems like Golden West is in a little bit of a hangover after struggling against Santa Rosa earlier today. Persinger taking strike 3 earlier, and that's uncharacteristic for a guy who's top hitter in the South all season. And you know, Shaddles is struggling at the plate today. He's 0 for 2, struck out and grounded into a double play. And it just seems like the team, the timing's just that little fraction of a second off. Like maybe there's a little hangover after.
Some of that is Henry Martinez too. So I would agree with you, but I'd give more credit to Henry Martinez and Matt Estes, who was the left-hander for Santa Rosa that shut Golden West down. So he has Shaddles
left-hander.
He's ahead 0-2, and he pulls the string on that changeup to get the second out of the inning. So inning that started so promising for the Rustlers, getting the first 2 men on by base hits. Now we have the fielder's choice. 5-6 for the first out, and now a changeup that sits Shadows down for the second out of the inning. Now all of a sudden we're at first and second with 2 outs, and that brings up the center fielder, Philip Knapp.
Right-hander Trip Aversa is up in the pen for Cypress, but the way Martinez is starting to wriggle out of this jam, you have the sense that it's still his ball game right now.
Without a doubt, as he gets that breaking ball over for strike 1, as he did versus Shadows in his last at-bat. Knapp 0 for 2 on the day.
That breaking ball comes in for a strike, usually at the belt, maybe even just a touch higher. But you have the sense that even though that ball's up in the zone and may be hittable, it's hard to pull the trigger on it. Most Golden West hitters have been taking that pitch for a strike over and over again today.
And it's surprising, too. Well, they see a lot of first pitch breaking balls because they are aggressive early in the count. That's another breaking ball. So Knapp has seen 3 straight breaking balls. So it seems like right now Bill Pinkham, the pitching coach who calls pitches for Cypress, has a good rhythm in terms of feels good with Martinez's breaking ball and has just been repeating it over and over and over to the Golden West hitters. So we'll see what he throws here, 1-2. Fastball in the outer half. I think that was a show-me pitch because I think right now 2-2, if we're correct, I think we'll just see another breaking ball out of Martinez's hand right here. And we do, and that ends up on the inner half. So runners will be off on this pitch. 3-2 count to Knapp. 2 outs. Bottom of the 7th inning. Cypress leading 5-0. Comes set, Martinez delivery. It's a fastball that misses down, and it's a good take by Knapp. Good quality at bat that earns him a walk. We'll see if Cypress sticks with Martinez. I see Bill Pinkham is headed to the mound right now, asking for time from home plate umpire Mike Allen, and he heads to the mound.
Here's a stat for you in this game that I think tells the story. The Rustlers here in Game 5 are 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position.
Well, that's a telling stat, especially in a do-or-die game.
And you just have the sense that they got to get one to start getting themselves. They still have a little time. They're in the bottom of the 7th. They can get a base hit here, played a couple of runs. We got a ball game. But you got to start chipping away.
Yeah, you say they still have time. They only have 7 outs.
Yeah.
So they don't have much time.
Yeah. Well, the time starts now. So you got to this is a big part of the time right here. So with the bases loaded and 2 outs, I think they definitely need something here and then go from there.
Well, they went out to the mound, and obviously Coach Pinkham got the right answer from Martinez. Probably talked with catcher Nathan Rodriguez and got his input. That brings up Tyler DePreta right here in a big situation. And that breaking ball again over for a strike.
And he's been going to that pitch first over and over again today. And the Rustlers, I think you're right, are very aggressive, but I remember an awful lot of times where they're taking that first pitch for a strike. And I just think they're not ready for it.
That fastball's hit down the right field line. He slips, Coolin slips and gets the bag, and Martinez is able to get over there.
It's a good job by Martinez.
For the 3rd out of the inning, great job by Martinez, and that gets us through 7. So the Golden West Rustlers leave 3 in scoring position as we are through 7 here in Fresno in a do-or-die elimination game with the right to get to Championship Monday, with Cypress leading 5-0.
Coolin set to lead things off in the top of the 8th. He'll be followed by Rodriguez and Gomez. 5-0 Cypress on top of Golden West. The Chargers came in today in the losers bracket after dropping their opener to Santa Rosa in a nail-biter 6-5 last night, but they have responded big time. A victory over San Joaquin Delta, and now they're 6 outs away from making it to Championship Monday and taking on the Bear Cubs, who are 1 win away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fransman back on the mound after putting out the fire last inning. Facing his 3rd batter, he's been perfect so far, retiring the first 2. Coolin, 1 for 3. RBI single back in the 1st. Grounded to 2nd, flied to center. And I know that Phil is prepping another trivia question.
Well,
that's it.
They're looking at may have an injured player. Is that?
Yeah, that one took an awkward bounce off
came up and
of Gilbody.
Got him underneath the mask in that area. That's.
Yeah, is that one? Could that maybe have gone up and caught him in the throat? And we don't want to speculate on injury, but
as we're going to see a couple trainers come out for.
It did take a heady bounce and Gilbody getting to his feet. And I know, if I know anything about catchers, he's going to stay in the game. And
yeah, he'll stay in the game.
And play both games tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
If they can make it.
Yeah, he's a tough kid.
Well, Gilbody's going to stay in. It took an awkward bounce, and I think we saw a couple plays earlier in the weekend where the ball took a big hop, and I think it's a very live area of dirt right in front of that home plate, and the ball can take a very big bounce, and I think it hopped over his glove and maybe caught him between the pads. But either way, Gilbody is back and ready. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The count now on Coolin. Quick pitch coming from Fransman, and he misses outside, so Coolin's got the leadoff walk here in the 8th.
The last thing you can do is walk a leadoff hitter, and Coach Villarreal will go to the mound, and he'll bring in a right-hander, and we'll have that information on that right-hander. As Fransman leaves.
Yeah, Fransman goes 2/3, and we'll have a new pitcher. We'll step aside, come back with the stats on the new pitcher here from Fresno in the CCCAA Baseball Championship. Josh Gogue comes in, makes his 2nd appearance of the weekend. Usually handles the closing duties for Golden West, but it's all hands on deck here in the 8th inning, trailing 5-0.
He was impressive the other day.
And he'll work to Rodriguez, who's 0 for 1. He's walked twice. 2 for 8 on the weekend. Fouls that one back. And Gogue, I think we talked about, has a kind of a tricky motion.
He does.
A whippy motion from that right side, and I imagine, particularly for right-handers, might be kind of difficult to pick the ball up.
Yeah, he kind of a herky-jerky motion, but his arm catches up in time.
That one just outside. 1 ball and 1 strike.
That's the one thing that, pitching coaches talk about in terms of making sure that the arm doesn't trail. So they want to do things mechanically correct, so the arm catches up. Sometimes if it trails the front side of the body, but his arm catches up to him.
Well, it looks to me like some of the pitchers that have that very whippy kind of motion, that's what they're fighting against, but it produces unbelievable movement, but it's very hard to keep an arm healthy.
Oh, yeah.
I think on that,
well,
with that particular motion.
One guy comes into mind right now who's had great success. He's currently with the Giants is Johnny Cueto.
Yeah. Well, I think of what was the Washington Nationals pitcher who had the very whippy motion. Oh, Mike would know this. But he's
currently with the Nationals?
Yeah. They've been limiting his innings. Big swing. Rodriguez was out in front. Count goes full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Keep on getting Max Scherzer stuck in my head, and that's not right. It's blocking the. Oh, this is going to bother me now.
Yeah, he has to be somebody that comes out of the pen for him, correct?
No, he's a starter, and he's phenomenal. But he's
I'm thinking of the national starters right now. I'm thinking
maybe
of,
they traded him, but
yeah, because I'm thinking of Strasburg.
Strasburg, that's it. Yeah.
No, it can't
Max.
be no. Strasburg has a traditional
okay.
over-the-top wind-up.
Okay, then maybe I'm thinking of somebody else.
That ball's fouled off, and Gilbody
in foul territory, Gilbody giving chase, and he runs out of room. Yeah, I mean, if it's not from the 80s, I'm not going to remember these whippy motions, okay? Kerry Wood is one that comes to mind, I think, that had that. The arm felt like it was kind of trailing, and he really whipped his body across, and that arm came across, and he had just unbelievable stuff and a slider that was unbelievably nasty. But did have some arm trouble in his career. And, of course, the list goes on. But Tim Lincecum.
Yeah, now with the Angels.
Payoff pitch. Sky high. Knapp camped under it for the out. So Rodriguez retired. It'll bring up Gomez, who's 0 for 3. Flied out twice and struck out. Gomez, nonetheless, having a nice weekend. 3 for 10 with a couple of runs scored, 3 runs batted in. He struck a big blow with a 2-run double in the 7th inning earlier today as Cypress was putting away the Mustangs, the hit and run. And he fouls it back. Maybe the run and hit. I meant to tell you the run and hit. I remember reading about that, as that was the preferred mode of Earl Weaver, who was never a fan of hit and run, and he felt like if you were going to do it more as a run and hit, try and steal the base, and then give the batter the option that they could take the swing at the ball. But that hit and run never made any sense to him. Sort of a half-baked attempt to steal a base.
Yeah, well, Earl Weaver played for the 3-run home run.
Yeah, he didn't do a lot of running, period,
no,
I guess. But
he made no bones about that.
Yep. Well, hard to argue with success.
Mm-hmm.
No balls and 2 strikes. Question that we have tomorrow just might have something to do with that. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And we'll get to more of your trivia too.
Is that
I know you've come in with something.
Is that a tease? In terms of tomorrow?
Yep.
Championship Monday?
Yep, absolutely. Why not a championship Monday with a guy who got a couple of championships? Popped up in foul territory. This time Gilbody giving chase.
Great
and
play.
He has it. So Gilbody puts it away for out number 2. Gogue has come in, and as he did last night, is in the process of shutting the door, at least on the inning. But the Rustler Bats are going to need to pick it up as they trail this one big, 5-0, here in the top of the 8th.
And they only trail in hits 7-6, Jeff. But trail 5-0.
All about the timely hitting.
Yep.
Ortiz waves and misses. He's 0 for 3. Coolin at first with 1 down, or 2 down, I should say. Gogue ready. Here's the pitch. Tries for the outside corner and gets it. No balls, 2 strikes. Quickly on Ortiz. Top of the order, Aaron Case due up next. If Ortiz can keep it alive. Gogue's delivery. Ortiz tries to hold up, but he went around. That will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. But the Chargers strand a leadoff walk. We head to the bottom of the 8th. 5-0. Cypress trying to close it out and move on to Championship Monday. Henry Martinez up on the rubber here for the bottom of the 8th inning. He'll face the top of the order for the Rustlers. Perhaps it's last ditch time for Golden West. 6 outs remaining maybe in their season for Martinez. He starts work here in the bottom of the 8th inning at the 100 pitch mark, and if that's not a season high, I'll eat this clipboard in front of me for Martinez, who has gone 29 1/3 combined coming in.
And what did he start Rodriguez off with? A breaking ball.
Rodriguez lifts it to left center. Case moving to his right, and he makes the catch. Out number 1. That'll bring up Gilbody, and yeah, for Martinez, who's pitched 7 1/3 scoreless, why on earth go away from what's working? And he hasn't. He's scattered 6 hits in 7 1/3. As he works to Gilbody. First offering, bounces in, 1 ball, no strikes. Persinger waits on deck. The 1-0 pitch, fouled it straight back. Gilbody had a cut. He's 1 for 3 today. Gilbody was 2 for 4 in the game earlier today. Just gets out of the way, or did he? No. And they're going to give him first base. So Gilbody hit by the pitch. So he's at first. That'll bring up Persinger, who's 0 for 3. And it's been a struggle this weekend for Dylan Persinger.
It's the last thing Martinez wanted to do there with. But I tell you, the last couple innings, Martinez has been throwing his breaking ball for a strike more than he has his fastball. So he has led off the last 6 Golden West hitters with breaking balls. So I got to believe we'll see make that 7. And what does he do? He gets in on Persinger's hands with a fastball.
That's the second time that he's jammed Persinger and got him to pop to second in this game. He did it back in the first inning in a eerily similar pitch, and Persinger 0 for 4 after the pop out. And that'll bring up Cody Marshall, who's picked up the slack nicely. He's 2 for 3, hit the ball hard all 3 times. He bats here in the 8th, but the Rustlers need something dramatic. Down to 4 outs.
Been impressed with Cody Marshall's plate appearances today and all weekend.
This is a nice bounce back for Cody Marshall as well after a struggle on the mound in Game 4. And he's had his head in the game with a couple of hits, moving back to first base here in Game 5, and he's done all he can to help keep the Rustlers alive.
Well, it's not like this weekend hasn't been averse to drama.
No, we've seen a little bit. 1 ball, 1 strike. Martinez from the stretch pulls the string on Marshall. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 down and a runner at first.
Got to tell you, Phil, very impressed with this kid. Freshman coming in. Biggest stage of the year. Command has been pretty steady.
Yeah, just done a tremendous job.
Slow roller, but it's going to get through on the right side.
Well, that's Marshall's 3rd hit of the game. The 7th hit. Now the the hits are tied 7-all, but the most important stat, the only one that matters, Cypress has 5 runs and Golden West
Do they at least
zip.
Do they at least get something like consolation prize?
I don't think so.
If they
I don't
have
think
more
there's-
hits, less runs.
I don't think there's any backstage going away presents.
Is that like the CBA where like you got a point for winning a quarter in the old CBA in basketball?
That did not happen. No way.
I think he did in the standings.
That's unfortunate. That is an
It's
unfortunate.
a novel
factoid.
idea to keep teams playing hard. Still pick up a point if you're down 20 but going into the fourth quarter.
That's like in soccer with the aggregate goals.
Another ground ball up the middle. To his right, it's Ortiz. He goes back to first, not in time. So Ortiz flashes good range, but he can't get Fuchs at first. And the bases are loaded with 2 down. And here comes Danny McGuire.
This is second inning in a row.
We saw this last inning. They have an opportunity here to get on the board. You'd hate to think they would leave 6 in consecutive innings. But they have the bases loaded again with 2 outs. And Danny McGuire at the plate.
Well, this is the guy today against Martinez that you'd probably want up there. He's 1 for 2 with a walk. A double back in the 5th and a walk in the 2nd. Grounded into a fielder's choice last inning.
Rodriguez going to the mound, so it tells me that possibly, and I think there'll be a pitching change, they'll probably bring in a left-hander right here to face McGuire.
Well, it was Tripp Aversa, a right-hander who was up
Scott
in the
Pickler's
pen
going
before.
Yeah, Scott Pickler's going to the mound right now.
He has Evan Fior, a left-hander, going down. He also has Sebastian Lopez available. So those are the 2 left-handers on the staff if he wants to match up here with the left-handed hitting Danny McGuire.
This is a great thing about baseball. Scott Pickler's on the mound, and Mike Allen, home plate umpire, goes out there, and I think Scott Pickler was giving his bullpen guy a little bit more time, his left-hander, but he was talking with Mike Allen and asking him probably, what would you do right here, Mike? Players were in front of him, and he was...
Is that helping? He's like, hey, Mike, how's the family?
Exactly.
And, well, he wants to be polite.
Yeah.
Sebastian Lopez, the left-hander, will get the call.
What a job for Henry Martinez, though, in a do-or-die game.
7 2/3. And he leaves with the bases loaded, but he leaves in a situation where he can only get the win. As they lead at 5-0, we'll come back with information on the new pitcher, Sebastian Lopez, here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Sebastian Lopez, the new pitcher, comes on with the bases loaded and 2 down, and he'll face Danny McGuire, who's 1 for 2. And we'll see if we can get the numbers from Phil on Sebastian Lopez.
2.93 ERA, has appeared 16 times, thrown 27 innings, given up 29 hits, 15 runs, 12 Ks and 9 walks on the year.
Well, I don't think it's an overstatement, gentlemen, to say, here's your ball game.
As he
First one bounces in. Terrific job by Rodriguez blocking that one at the plate. But
Phil, if you're McGuire, what's your approach here?
Make sure you're facing a left-hander. You want to see the ball and make sure you keep your front side closed and think middle opposite field right now. You don't want to pull out on something. And you saw a breaking ball first pitch, so you want to stay on the ball.
Here's the 1-0. Goes to the fastball, and McGuire had a cut, but fouls it away.
But it was another breaking ball. So the breaking balls, they're going to try to throw him on the outer half of the plate, Mike. So to your question, when you have balls in the outer half of the plate, you got to be able to hit them that direction. So you see so often, right-handers see sliders and breaking balls in the outer half, and they got to be able to go to right field. The same thing with Daniel McGuire here going to left field right now.
Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. McGuire thinking grand slam, I think, on that one, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
He's seen 3 breaking balls. He saw a 55-foot curve ball that Rodriguez did a nice job blocking. He saw a breaking ball.
Is that a slider maybe on the last 2?
That was a changeup right there.
Okay, the pitch before.
So it's 1-2 pitch.
Here he comes. McGuire lines it into right field, a base hit. The Rustlers are on the board. They're going to wave Marshall around. He'll score. McGuire all the way into second with a 2-run double.
The drama continues up here in Fresno in 2016.
Hold everything. Second and third, the inning's still going. That'll bring up Shaddles. He's had a quiet day at the plate. He's 0 for 3, but now he gets a lefty. And Sebastian Lopez, he's not sorry to see Henry Martinez go, because now he'll get a different pitcher.
I think we'll see Scott Pickler, and I'll see that'll be the only hitter that Sebastian Lopez will face.
Going to be the 3rd pitcher of the inning in all likelihood, and might we see Trip Aversa, who was up earlier.
That was a 1-2 pitch. It looked almost like a BP fastball, but I think it was a changeup. It stayed over the middle, the inner half of the plate, and McGuire was able to take that into right field. I was very surprised they didn't come back with something away especially after the first 2 swings, because it looked like McGuire was trying to pull. He's very pull conscious, and he got a pitch he could pull. So that was surprising to me in terms of the.
It felt like a fastball that wasn't very fast.
Yeah,
that was the point I was going to make. Was in 4 pitches, it didn't look like he really changed speeds.
BP changeup is pretty good.
No. In those 4 pitches he did. He saw 2 breaking balls, a changeup. I even thought that last pitch was a changeup, but it just didn't have. They hadn't shown him a fastball yet, so.
Trip Aversa is the 3rd pitcher of the inning.
Changeup that got stuck in between gears, hung up there.
You bet.
2-run double.
It was a change. We just don't know from what, because we didn't see the fastball in the at-bat. As Trip Aversa comes on and becomes the 3rd pitcher of the inning as things tighten up. Late in Game 5, it's 5-2, and the Rustlers with 2 on and 2 out. And let's just take care of the numbers for Aversa here.
Aversa comes in with a 1.5 ERA and 16 Ks, only 3 walks. The one stat I will give you that's important right here, especially with the tying run coming to the plate, he has allowed 2 home runs this year. So as we see the flags and the wind blowing out, a long fly ball that goes over the wall, and all of a sudden now we are tied here in Fresno.
Yeah,
so
Shaddles second on the team. And
one of
one
of only 2 players on the Rustler roster that has a home run.
Yeah, and he also leads the team in strikeouts. So feast or famine here, and we're going to find out the result very shortly.
Yeah, Shaddles hoping for feast. So Shaddles will dig in.
He's hoping for the buffet line right here.
What they have done with Shaddles here is they have gone breaking balls and fastballs in on him. And so he sees a first pitch breaking ball. And that's what he has seen a steady diet of today, and they've had some success. He's, like you said, he's 0 for 3. He had a fastball in that he had a double play, and then breaking ball changeup for 2 strikeouts.
Here's the 1-0. Wow. Just high, 2 balls, no strikes, and Shaddles showing good patience, and you expect that he should. There's first base open here right now. I think Shaddles needs to be aware that he might not see a whole lot to hit in this at-bat.
I will say this, the last time he saw a 2-0 pitch, it was a fastball that got in on his hands that he ground into a double play in the first inning. So be interesting to see what they throw here.
2-0, that one bounces in. Here comes the runner. Another run home Fuchs scores on the wild pitch. McGuire advances to third, and it's 5-3.
And mark this down right now. This is a 3-0 count, so it'll be interesting to see. I don't think they'll give in to Shadows right here. I wouldn't even be surprised to see him, in terms of Coach Villarreal, let him have the 3-0 green light and then throw something off speed here to get to Philip Knapp.
The 3-0 pitch down the middle. Strike one to Shadows. Careful what you wish for with Shadows here if you're Cypress, because now maybe he has the green light.
Well, it's 3-1, so I think he's swinging right now.
Yeah. Here's the pitch. Slow curve, missed everything. Shadows works the walk.
Phil, I want to ask the question here. You had the pitcher up earlier. Tripp was up earlier and then came off, and then they go to the lefty, and then he comes off. That lack of continuity in the bullpen, getting warm, getting cold, and getting warm again, do you think that factors in
no,
with
because
the command issues here?
I'm sure he's done that all year long, Mike. So right now, his release point.
Knapp lays one down the third base line, and it's foul.
Wow, I really like that by Philip Knapp, though. I do, even though they're trailing by 2, and you might think, why would he do that? Aguilar playing back there. If you get a bunt down and it's successful, now you're putting with a run scored and the tying run, Shadows at second base. So I like that approach there by Knapp. Going back to what you're talking about now, Mike, I'm just looking at Tripp Aversa's release point on his breaking ball. It just doesn't look like it's coming out real well right now.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Knapp squares again down the third base line. Picked up by Aversa. Everybody's going to be safe. It's a bunt base hit and a 5-4 score.
Interesting, because that bunt, it looked like it had a chance. Their only chance right there was to let that go foul. And Aguilar was yelling at Aversa to let it go foul, and Aversa went down and picked it up. And we're in a one-run ball game right now. Wow. Unbelievable.
I tell you what, 20 minutes ago, the Cypress following, well, whoever books the hotel rooms is thinking, hey, we're going to need another night. Not so fast. They're in our hotel.
Tyler DePreta will be the batter. Runners at first and second. 2 outs. DePreta, the 9th man to bat in the inning. They've batted around, and it started what seemed like forever ago against Henry Martinez, who was rolling along with a shutout through 7 innings.
I don't know if they'd run it right here, but they ran it in their first game today. That's the first breaking ball that Tripp Aversa has got over for a strike since he has come into the ball game. But they ran it earlier in game 3 this morning against Delta. They ran a back pick with Coolin coming in behind the runner. It'd be really risky to do it right now in case you threw one down the line.
Here's the 0-1 to DePreta. Tries the outside corner and misses. 1 ball, 1 strike on DePreta, who's 0 for 3. Flied out twice and grounded out.
All about release point in terms of with that breaking ball.
Shadows at second represents the tying run in a 5-4 ball game. Here's the 1-1. Grounded
through,
in
guys.
the hole. Through the left for a base hit. They're going to send Shadows. Here comes the throw from
Unbelievable.
They won't get him. We're tied at 5.
And there's the equalizer.
Unbelievable comeback for Golden West in the bottom of the 8th inning. 5 on the board, and we're tied at 5.
And not done.
Yeah, on the play, Knapp stopped at second. So Knapp at second. DePreta, after a clutch hit, stands at first. And now the 2-out RBI hits that weren't coming earlier are coming fast and furious for the Rustlers, who've tied it at 5.
Well, Jeff, just take a look at the hit total. Golden West has 11 hits in this ball game, and finally, their hits that are counting for them. You gave a stat that they were 0 for 5
Yeah,
earlier.
entering this inning, 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position.
And there's a baseball term used in terms of if somebody's overdue, and they were overdue to get some hits with runners in scoring position, which they did.
Yeah, to the tune of 4 in a row with runners in scoring position.
McGuire with the double down the right field line to drive into. Shadows had the walk, Knapp the drag base hit for an RBI, and now Tyler DePreta with a 1-1 breaking ball that stayed up for an RBI.
Chris Rodriguez will be the batter. And the Chargers have to be rattled at this point. They have to get themselves together. Rodriguez has had somewhat of a struggle this weekend at the plate, but he did strike a very big blow in the opener with a bases clearing triple in the victory over San Joaquin Delta. Coming into this at bat, Rodriguez is 2 for 13 on the weekend, but you go back to the huge hit he delivered early.
We're seeing now a pitcher that Cypress is bringing in that has only seen 5 1/3 innings of action on the year. It's a freshman right-hander, Joey Levette.
So Levette, the 4th pitcher of the inning. It's been a disaster here in the 8th for the Chargers. And they'll go to freshman right-hander Joey Levette. Well, just par for the course, Michael. I think here in 2016 in the championships.
What a game.
How did we not see this coming?
What a championship. Mike Cepeda, Jeff Stoynoff, Phil White with you on this weekend's coverage here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Happy you've joined us and happy they brought us back again. It's just an incredible experience up here at John Euless Ballpark every year. And, gentlemen, just a pleasure to work with you.
Yeah, this is fun. You see something like this happen, and you go through in terms of with Golden West as they got down 5-0. For them to battle back and tie this ball game in the 8th, it really this is why these teams are here, though.
Absolutely.
The go-ahead run is Philip Knapp at second base with 2 down. Here's Rodriguez, Levette from the stretch, the first pitch, low and away. 1 ball, no strikes. How do you like it if you're Golden West? If Rodriguez can get a base hit here, maybe give the Rustlers the lead, you already have Josh Gog on the mound. You didn't think when they went to him in the 8th inning that it was to perhaps wrap up a victory, but they're 1 hit away. Here's the pitch to Rodriguez in there for a strike. Looks like a couple of breaking balls starting off from Levette.
Well, Rodriguez has seen breaking balls this whole series, these 3 games. The scouting report on him, as we have broken down, we have talked about how many breaking balls he's seen, and he's seen the first 2 with a 1-1 count.
Levette ready, that one in the dirt, blocked by Rodriguez. 2 balls, 1 strike the count. Chris Gilbody waits on deck if Rodriguez can keep it going.
Here's a situation, too, and you always wonder, it has been on first and second, but there is a base open. So you can walk him here and not give in.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. Grounded towards short. They'll go the short way to retire the side. But the Rustlers send 10 in the inning. 5 runs on 5 hits. No errors. They leave 2 on base. We head to the 9th. It's a brand new ball game. We're tied at 5. It's the CCCAA Baseball Championships on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Top of the order, 2 up for the Chargers in the 9th inning as they have to go back to work in a tie ball game. They were just that close, but the Rustlers with a furious rally. And now it's the Chargers who are reeling as they have to go against closer Josh Gogue, 3rd in the state with 7 saves. One of the premier closers in the CCCAA in a tie ball game of Case, Gonzalez, and Aguilar here in the 9th.
They're at the right part of their lineup right now, Cypress.
Popped up on the right side. Persinger moving back, but it's McGuire moving in who will put it away for out number 1. That'll bring up Gonzalez, who's 0 for 3. He's also walked. Gonzalez stands in from the left side against the right-hander Gogue. Here's the pitch. Tries the outside corner and missed it.
Gilbody trying to bring that pitch back in for Mike Allen, but it was outside.
The 1-0 popped up. This one on the left side. Depreta has it. 2 down. Quickly for Gogue. And Aguilar will be the batter. And you get the feeling for the Chargers, they just like to get a guy on board just to prevent the Rustlers with all this momentum from getting right back to the plate.
I love this matchup right here, Gogue versus Aguilar. This is tough on tough. These are just two tough-minded. These are 2 tough-minded athletes right here, and this is what you come to watch baseball for.
And with the power of Elijah Skips on deck, it's an important batter for Gogue.
Oh, without a doubt.
1 ball, 1 strike.
If you take a look at the outfielders right now, there are no doubles for Golden West. They are playing deep right now.
The pitch from Gogue, bouncing ball to short. Depreta on the hop, over to first. 3 up, 3 down. Gogue retires 6 straight since he's come on. We head to the bottom of the 9th. Can the Rustlers complete the improbable comeback? You're watching the CCCAA Baseball Championships on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Two, 3, and 4, the heart of the order, 2 up. Here in the bottom of the 9th for Golden West. And about 10 minutes ago, we were talking about the bottom of the 9th being the last stand for the Rustlers, the last chance to keep their season alive. Now it's the first chance to advance to Monday.
Wow.
Gilbody looks to lay one down with the pitch in the dirt. 1 ball and no strikes. And Joey Levette.
It's an interesting fact. Interesting item right here, whether you take a strike. It's a 5-5 game. You got a freshman right-hander who has not thrown 6 innings on the year. That's a heck
on
of
the
a
left
bunt.
side, Aguilar charges, throws to first to get Gilbody.
Great job. Great play by Aguilar. Great bunt by Gilbody.
Well, that brings up Persinger. 0 for 4 today. Persinger came into the weekend having an outstanding postseason. Indeed, an outstanding year.
And 6 home runs.
First pitch from Levette misses low and away. 1 ball and no strikes. And are you seeing mainly, it looks like mainly off-speed stuff from Levette. that I've seen so far in a couple batters he's faced. Here's the 1-0. That one at the knees, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Another breaking ball.
Persinger's had a tough day at the plate, a couple of pop-outs and a couple of strikeouts. 1-1 pitch. Got him on the arm. The hit batter puts the winning run at first with 1 down, and here comes Cody Marshall, and he's had a very big day at the plate, 3 for 4.
Yeah, Cody Marshall has been the one hitter for Golden West who has just been dialed in every at-bat. Even the out that he made back in the 3rd inning was a line out to Gomez at shortstop, but he has gone base hit, line out, base hit, base hit.
Well, he's been terrorizing Charger pitching all season. He's now 8 for 15 against Cypress on the year, counting today.
I see Bill Pinkham discussing over with Scott Pickler in front of the Cypress bench. Scott Pickler's continuing that discussion as Rodriguez is out to the mound. We know they have to have arms up in the pin. They're trying to make the decision if they want to go to the pin. Again, we're talking about a freshman right-hander on the mound that came in to this series with 5 1/3 innings under his belt. So this isn't somebody that is accustomed to this situation. We may see a pitching change here as Scott Pickler heads to the mound.
Well, they took their time, and I think you're exactly right. They were trying to buy time, and now they'll go out there and we'll see how much time they are allowed to take. And already moving out to break it up.
And they have a left-hander. They're going to bring in a left-hander to go left on left with Marshall.
And that left-hander we mentioned before, they have 1 left.
And that's number 21 coming in, Joseph Mercado. And he has thrown 54 innings. He's 3-3 for him. He has 12 games started for him, so he is a starter for them. He's a sophomore left-hander. He's 3-3 on the year. Got a 4.8 ERA, 35 Ks, 26 walks, 29 earned runs, but given up 61 hits in 54 1/3 innings. So
yeah, Mercado started the first meeting between these two teams and went 4 1/3.
And basically he's coming in right now because of this matchup with Marshall. And I would agree with this. Yeah. I really would.
Don't you have the sense that Mercado probably is the guy slated to go tomorrow in Game 6 if Cypress were to advance? But obviously you can't worry about that at this point in a 5-all game in the 9th inning.
Nope.
An elimination game here, elimination game number 2. We'll step aside very briefly, come back. You are watching the CCCAA Baseball Championships on SoCalCollegeSports.com. So it'll be Cody Marshall at the plate with 1 down and Dylan Persinger at first for the new pitcher, Joseph Mercado.
Let me give you one stat that I know we have a left-hander on the mound, but Persinger is 15 for 18 in stolen bases. He leads Golden West in stolen bases. So I know there's a left-hander on the mound. If they feel like they get a good read on him right here, there could be an opportunity to steal a base or an attempt to steal a base here.
And could you see a hit and run here with all kinds of openings then on the infield? That one fouled right back toward us.
That came right towards the camera. I was
no
a little
balls,
scared.
1 strike. Did we have the right camera shot to get the close-up of the ball?
It had it right for the...
On that one.
I think I might have even saw the brand. Rolling.
No balls, 1 strike on Marshall. But there's a big hole already on the right side with Persinger being held on, and they'll go to first. But if you go to the hit and run here, you open up a hole on the right side, you open up a hole on the left side.
One thing Marshall does a great job of, he does stay on ball. So this left-handed matchup, he does a great job of staying on balls and going the opposite way.
Here's the 0-1 to Marshall. They pitch out. Persinger not going. 1 ball, 1 strike on Marshall, who's 3 for 4 today.
Bell's had a chance to speak with Bob Strong right behind us, grandfather of Cody Marshall. Nickname for Cody? Billy Bob.
Here's the 1-1. Now they'll go to first.
So they are fully aware that the Golden West stolen base leader is Dylan Persinger, because they've gone over to first, they pitched out, and now they've gone back over to first. So the one thing you do here, though, is Mercado, he has to dial in on Marshall, too, if he comes to the plate.
Throw over.
Well, we saw earlier in the weekend the speed getting in the head of some of the pitchers, and that playing a major factor in manufacturing runs. Obviously, that's something that kind of goes without saying, but well, you know, we've seen tangible evidence here at these finals. And
the one thing that pays an advantage to Golden West here is they've thrown a lot of breaking balls, and I think they want to throw breaking balls to Marshall, so that gives Persinger an advantage to see a breaking ball to run on.
That one high and tight. Marshall just getting out of the way. 2 balls and 1 strike.
strategically a very good pitch on Marshall.
I think one of two things going to happen. They're either going to go over to first base again here, or they're going to throw Marshall another breaking ball.
Here's the 2-1.
Ooh.
Bouncing ball to short, could be 2. Over to second for 1, the relay to first. We're heading to extras.
Wow.
5-all. Cypress and Golden West in our second elimination game. It's day 2 of the CCCAA championship here on SoCalCollegeSports.com.
We're in extras here. Game 5 of the 2016 3C2A baseball finals here from Fresno City College. Mike Cepeda, Phil White, Jeff Stoynoff with you on today's coverage. Last game of our triple header, and
free baseball.
Neither team will go quietly into the good night as the sun sets here on John Eulis Ballpark. 0-1 here on Elijah Skips. 0-2 now. And Josh Gogue has been fantastic since he's come on for the Rustlers. Phil, what's the conversation here?
I don't know. I don't know if they feel like something came onto the field down the left field line. That's why they had a no pitch. I'm looking down the line right now.
What? They changed it to 1 ball, 1 strike.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, I don't know if it was a check swing situation where they asked Chris Morrow. They're going to get together. Mike Allen.
I wonder, Jeff, maybe you can talk to Jerry White, Phil's dad.
No. He's talking over there with Paul Moore, and they're probably discussing things as to what's going on right here. Lissa. Okay, so they're saying he wasn't standing in the box, or he was in the box, or what?
I don't have enough knowledge right now in terms of what's happening to even inform our audience what happened. I know it was an 0-1 pitch that we have 1-1. I don't know if they feel like he quick pitched him.
Well, 1-1 now on Elijah Skips to lead things off, and he pops this one up to center. Ball carrying a little bit back to the warning track, but Knapp will put it away for out number 1 here in the top of the 10th. I'll bring up Nick Reeser. Reeser went deep earlier today. I believe that was a two-run shot in the top of the 5th, if memory serves.
Sorry, Mike, this Cody Wildhagen at the plate did check in for Reeser in the field a couple innings back.
Apologies. So Corey Wildhagen comes on. Fouls the first one back. Swinging at this one. This is tailing towards the right field line. Tough play made by Daniel McGuire. So Wildhagen, who came in yesterday in spot duty and struck out, gives that one a ride. And McGuire puts it away for out number 2.
Really been impressed with Josh Gogue.
Absolutely.
Ever since he came in yesterday to get a save versus Delta. They brought him in the 8th today to close things out.
Off-speed pitch in there for a strike. Now working on Bo Coolin.
He works quick.
That pitch fouled off down the right field line. So 0-2, and Gogue ahead quickly once again. I feel like working quick seems to be a theme here in the pitching arsenal for Golden West. Brett Mays like to just wheel and deal. Gogue in that same mold. Strike 3, got him swinging. It's a 1-2-3, top of the 10th. We head to the bottom half. We're in extras here in Game 5 of the 3C2A 2016 Baseball Finals. Stay tuned.
Left field.
Bottom of the 10th inning, we're all knotted up at 5-all. It was a 5-run rally in the bottom half of the 8th to tie it up for the Rustlers. Due up this inning here for Golden West, it'll be Michael Fuchs, Daniel McGuire, and John Shaddles. 0-1 on Fuchs. This one tailing towards the right field line. Will this drop in? It will. It's going to be an extra base hit to lead things off in the bottom of the 10th. And Golden West has a man in walk-off position here in Game 5, trying to punch their ticket to tomorrow.
That was just a ball that was perfectly. was a ball that was perfectly placed down the right field line. If anybody's going to get to that ball, Gonzalez is he has made some fine running catches today, but that just eluded him just around maybe 3 to 5 feet inside the right field line. So I would say this would be a sacrifice situation for McGuire.
So McGuire at the dish.
Phil, we were talking before about McGuire and how he seemed dialed in trying to pull the ball his last time up. And this seems like a situation where a ground ball to the right side would do so much. Seems like the perfect man for the perfect job if you're the Rustlers.
Scott Pickler's going to call timeout, and he's asking Mike Allen how many trips he has. So this may not necessarily be a changing of a pitcher here for Cypress, but just a talk about if they do bunt, here's the bunt defense that we'd like to be in. Most oftentimes, and we've talked about this before, Mercado may wheel and try to go to second base with no intent to pick off, but just to see if that McGuire will break down and show them that he is bunting. Going back to what you're talking about, Jeff, you have a left-hander at the plate, so sometimes you feel more confident that a left-hander can get a pitch to hit to the right side. But they'll obviously, in this situation, it's a catch-22. If you throw him away and you're in a bunting situation, you allow the bunt, which you want the bunt to go down the third baseline so that the third baseman vacates his position. But if you're throwing him away now and he's hitting, now he's got to hook something. So
if you go back to earlier today, a similar situation really plagued San Joaquin Delta in the elimination game this morning. Back-to-back drag bunt singles that really resulted in the inning that broke it open earlier today for Cypress. So Cypress knows this situation all too well.
Show right off the bat, which I think is smart. If you're going to sacrifice, show right now.
What's the advantage in doing that?
I just think you set the bat angle out so you're not late getting the bat angle out, and all of a sudden now the bat angle doesn't get out, and now you pop one up. You're showing the bat angle, show it to where you want to bunt the ball, and don't move from that position. So I like the fact in this situation because it's such an important part of the game here in the bottom of the 10th, because all you're asking now is to get that runner in scoring position so you give Shadows a chance to give a sacrifice fly for a game winner.
Nobody out here, bottom of the 10th, a man at second. Sacrifice situation, and taking back the bat and taking strike one is McGuire.
That surprised me right there. They showed early, but he pulled back. So we'll see here if he does have an intent on sacrificing.
Aguilar starting to cheat in at the corner, as is Coolin. And that one off of the bat and then off of Nathan Rodriguez. So 0-2 now on McGuire.
That bunt attempt did not look comfortable for McGuire, so he's going to be swinging away here with 2 strikes on him. He got a breaking ball that he kind of jumped at with his bat head and his upper body, so he's looking to try to get something to the right side.
Base hit ends it most likely.
I'm interested to see Cypress up with Coolin. I move him back because I do not see him bunting here.
The 0-2, outside 1-2. Fuchs at second, nobody out. It's the bottom of the 10th, tied up 5-all. 5 runs on 7 hits for Cypress, 5 runs on 12 hits for the Rustlers.
Yeah, Cypress pushes Coolin back now. So you want that depth to knock a ball down.
Mercado bounces it. Back to the screen goes the ball. The runner advances. 2-2 count now on McGuire, and the go-ahead walk-off run for the Rustlers 90 feet away.
Well, they called the pitch they want. They wanted to get dirty with that breaking ball, but Nathan Rodriguez needs to be a hockey goalie there and keep that ball out in front. Ball was...
I mean, that ball took a pretty big bounce.
Yeah, but it's a pitch that they work on in terms of blocking drills. So
2-2. Back to short. Gomez has trouble handling that play. Late to first. Might even be charging error here, Phil.
That'd be an error on the shortstop, yeah.
So Gomez thinking whether or not he was trying to really check the runner before he secured the ball. Does not handle it cleanly. Now it's first and third, nobody out. And here comes John Shaddles.
Well, you can do this one of two ways. Your infield is up. You can put Shaddles on here and load the bases and just hope to inch away and bring the infield in.
Mercado in the dirt. That one blocked nicely by Rodriguez. That saved the ball game for the moment for Cypress.
Well, they've continually tried to get John Shaddles out today with breaking balls and fastballs in. So they tried to get that fastball in. Rodriguez did a nice job there, blocking it with runners on the corners.
Cypress holding on for dear life here, and that should do it.
That's the ball game.
It's a walk-off RBI single for John Shaddles. Championship Monday is set for tomorrow. The Rustlers from Golden West will take on the Bear Cubs from Santa Rosa. It's a thrilling 6-5 win here in extras for Golden West. That will do it for our coverage here. Triple header variety here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. We'll join you tomorrow, everybody. For Phil White, Jeff Stoynoff, Matt Henson, I am Mike Zabeta signing off. Take care.